Greetings, I'm Ritchie deCarlo, and thanks to people like you and Kickstarter, I was able to release 5 albums in the past few years that I'm very proud of. This time I'm going about things a little differently because I want to release 2 albums with this one pledge campaign. One of them will be my next solo album, which will be titled FastForward, and it will be a digital release for download, multi-track recorded on the computer like I've always done, and hopefully raise enough money here to have some really cool special guests on it. The other album will be called Rewind, and it will be done completely on this dinosaur here. This is a 4-track cassette recorder from the 1980s. And yes, I have lost my mind. And here's the story behind this. Last year, a friend of a friend sent me a digital download of an album. That album turned out to be something I released on cassette back in around 1987. I didn't even remember most of the material on here. And it brought back lots of memories, and it got me thinking to how things were back then. Back then, I couldn't afford a recorder like this, and I used to borrow them from friends, and most of them weren't as nice as this one. This one was the top of the line back then. It probably cost about $1,000 back then, which was an astronomical amount of money for someone who just got out of high school like me, and it was just never going to happen that I owned one. But I always wished that I was able to have one full time to take my time and make a solo album where I play all the instruments. So this album will be recorded entirely on cassette to only 4 tracks. So I'm going to do the 2 albums in 2 completely different ways. The first one's going to be called Rewind, and it's going to be the album I wished I was able to make when I was around 20 years old. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to try to document everything I do. I'm going to try to record every song recorded for that album. It's probably going to be about 8 songs. FastForward will probably be about 10 songs. A longer album, obviously, because cassettes are limited in time and all that. As I said, I'm going to play all the instruments, and maybe I'll even sing. I don't know. This could go in many different directions. But I'm looking forward to it, and it should be a lot of fun to do the cassette. The goal here is set at $900. But hopefully, we could get above $1,000 or maybe close to $2,000 to pay for the guests for FastForward. I have a couple guys in mind that aren't going to come cheap, but they would really help to make a great album. I know they would, and this has really worked out well in the past with albums like Weak and the Michael Bernier record I just put out called Strangers, where we have special guests that just take things in another direction. So I have a lot of cool rewards offered here, everything from a digital download for a couple dollars of all 3 records, which will be my album from the 80s in digital format for download. And it's very funny. I was definitely on a comedy streak back then, and a lot of it's very funny. Some of it's serious, but a lot of it's very funny. The second will be the new album on 4-track cassette, which I'm offering a download or a cassette version of, depending on how you want to get it. And then the third album will be FastForward, which will be the third download and also available to you on a CDR and I'll draw some artwork on there. Other rewards include a living room concert where I'd come to you, your house, a venue of your choice, and play a 90-minute solo performance with synthesizers and drums. Another reward is you will be the new owner of this 4-track cassette machine, which has just been serviced and is working top-notch. And you could remix the songs I've done, because I'll give you the original cassettes from all these songs I do. You could record on top of that, add to what I did, do new songs, whatever. I'm offering this as one of the top pledges because I won't be needing it again after this. So let's do this. Let's have some fun. As always, thank you for your support.